Jaki Spellman. Spellman. All right. Sorry, we have to, it's a little, it looks normal to you on camera, but it's really close. Not that it's bad, she's a great person, just getting to know her, but, we're kind of, we don't want to knock things over, so.
I know. The Italian hands.
Yeah, I'm Greek.
Go.
I have the Greek hand. The Greek hand, don't hit me. But you can, I guess. It would make for a fun video. Jaki, thanks for joining me.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Let's talk about you.
Oh.
So I do this podcast because I want to introduce really good hair people to the world, and I want to give tips and talk about challenges and just talk about what motivates you and other people that you know in our business, because it's not an easy business.
No.
Right? And a lot of us are entrepreneurs. We do all sorts of different things. We have like 16 businesses. And
that's true.
Yeah, and families and kids. And how do we keep those? This is big, I know. Sorry guys, super distracting. Very
it's real.
Very
cool.
Very alcoholic of me.
Real and raw.
It's real, yeah. Well, I didn't drink it all now.
Yes,
we're hairdresser. Yeah, hairdresser.
We have so many hall passes.
Yeah, I just got squirrel. I got a lot of hall passes. So I'm trying to build a series where I talk about not about people, but talk about things that hairdressers do in our community in Sacramento. There's so many really good people in this area, really talented people. And I met you at an event. It was actually not really a big event, but it was like a.
Yeah, it was a little powwow. It was cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
Tell everybody how we met.
We met at a little it was a little meet and greet powwow with other industry professionals where we were just kicking it, hanging out, talking business, and drinking some wine.
Rodan and Fields.
Rodan and Fields, yes.
Rodan or Rodan?
Skincare. I don't know.
I always overpronounce things.
Rodan.
Rodan and Fields. Yeah, skincare. So I was invited. You came in, and everybody at the table that knew you really loved you, and they're like, "Jason, you need to interview her." And I was like, "Cool, I need somebody to interview." And it's really hard to line interviews up, really, because you have to do them at awkward times to fit everybody's schedule, and then sometimes you have to cancel them. You want the vibe to be right. You want to have good subjects. So you're my second interview. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Well, I'm honored that you would do it. It means a lot. So let's talk about some things that will help people. First of all, I want to know about it's called
BMS.
BMS, all right.
Yes.
Tell everybody, what is that? It's a big deal for you.
So BMS it stands for, not everyone loves the name, but it stands for Big Money Stylist.
Big Money, okay. All right, I like that, Big Money Stylist.
And basically, if I could sum it up, it is to bring up our industry to where stylists are seen a little bit more professional as lawyers and psychologists, because we do so much behind the chair between art, chemistry, architecture. We do that in our haircuts. We do that in our design.
So is it a
psychology?
Yeah. So it's okay. So is it a course, or is it just like a method?
It is. Well, BMS is tied with natural beaded rose, which is a hair extension
method.
It is.
Okay, got it. Okay, so it's connected to an actual product line.
Not a product line. It's a technique. It's a tool and a technique for hair extensions, and I'm able to add a ton of hair to someone because architecturally speaking, this woman Danielle White is amazing because she came up with a method to disperse the weight off of the person's natural hair, so it minimizes the damage. The way I like to explain it is, if you imagine hanging really long, thick, heavy, blackout curtains in your house, tall windows, and you have to put points of contact in the wall so it doesn't rip off the wall.
Right.
And that's essentially what I'm doing, is I lay a track down that disperses the weight off of my client's hair, and I'm able to add a lot of hair in the way we place
extensions.
It's extensions, but we also can custom color it and custom cut it, and there's so much meticulousness that goes into it that you really have to be a knowledgeable stylist.
They're really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
they're really pretty.
No, they really are. So let's tell everybody where to find you on Instagram and Facebook so they can see this. And I'm gonna check the timer.
It's Jaki SPELLMAN LS on Facebook, which is Jacki. My mom spelled my name wrong. No, I'm kidding. And then
whoa!
And then on Instagram, I'm Jacki.liftedbeauty. So it's JACKI.liftedbeauty.
And I'll put that in the video when people watch it. It'll be in there. They should follow you on Instagram. You're okay with them following you on Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook I do. I kind of toggle between both. I do a lot more of like my blogger stuff.
Yeah, you do some
my
really...
portfolio's on Instagram, but...
Yeah, you do some really deep, thoughtful writing on Facebook, and we'll talk about that too. So Big Money Stylist is like... that's the philosophy connected to?
That's the business.
The business. Got it. Okay.
Business mindset, and then natural beaded rose is the actual technique.
So you do a lot of things. We're going to try to keep track of how many things you do during this video. So that's number one, or is that two things?
That's two.
Two things.
I mean, there's a lot of things.
I know.
There's a lot of things tied into that, actually.
Into that. Okay. So what's the next thing tied into?
Bullet post. So with that, I got involved with Warrior Women.
Okay, so that's connected to it?
It is a sister company. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It is.
Okay.
They are all
so that's
connected.
the third thing you're actually very active in.
Yes, and that's why you see a lot more.
Wearing the shirt?
I'm representing my
wearing
warriors.
The shirt?
Hey, girls.
I love you, sister. I'm wearing the Venom. All right. I don't know if there's. I'm not really sure if that represents anything.
Sure, superhero.
Me being 10, and then you're a warrior woman. There it is.
Yeah.
So so that's the third thing you do. What's the fourth? We'll get back to those things. What's the fourth thing you do?
Well, I mean, in my personal life, I'm a wife and a mother, and
how many kids?
I have 2 kids, 2 girls.
2 girls.
4 and 11.
That's great ages. My daughter's 13, and I have a son as well.
Yeah, and how old?
He's 20. Yeah. Yeah, I have a 20-year-old. Most people do not know that.
He can be like your buddy. It's like your buddy phase now.
He is.
When I was 20, me and my mom really we finally clicked.
He's in the Air Force. He's great.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
well,
he's a hero.
Thank him for his service. That's awesome.
No,
I'm actually a Air Force
Air Force.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I do that sometimes.
Is that a new thing?
I'm an Air Force brat.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So I was born on an Air Force.
Okay, so that makes you a brat because you were born on a base.
I was born on Vandenberg Air Force
Where's
base.
that? Is that
like super Southern California?
Oh, it's like in. Yeah, I should know these things. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
So you grew up in the military life?
No.
Or you were just born there and then like.
I was born there. My mom was 16 when she had me actually.
Wow.
So I was born on the Air Force. My dad had been in Korea.
Okay.
And then we moved in with my grandmother. Really, like when I was just. I want to say I was like 3 probably.
Okay. Okay.
And then after that, I think we lived in a trailer. I do remember that.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And then your childhood, you talked about that on Facebook.
A little bit, yeah.
On Instagram too. And I want to talk about that. And that's actually one of the reasons why we're talking is that video. It was like a project you were doing.
I was at Warrior, yeah. There was an assignment to talk for 10 minutes.
It actually touched me. I remember watching it. I was actually driving. I wasn't watching it while I was driving, but the notification came on.
Yeah.
And I was pulling over to where I was going, and I got out and watched it and was like locked in.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was standing outside my car watching it, and I was like, we got to talk about this. So you talked about your concept of beauty essentially, and how when you were a child, some things happened to you, or you were bullied and some things like that, essentially. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I don't like to toss around the word bully too much, but yeah, I was like hassled as children do.
You were teased.
I was totally teased, yeah.
Got it.
Who wasn't?
So I don't want to clarify because I don't want to over talk it, but
it's okay.
So it wasn't at a bullying level, but it was like at a teasing level where it was, but it affected you years later. We're talking about it right now.
Yes.
Right? So it did affect you. So, but first it affected you like in a negative way, but now it's become a real strength for you, right?
Yes.
So I want you to talk about that. Like, talk about that, your concept of beauty, how it was like shaped.
For me, and especially being a part of BMS and Natural Beaded Rose, there's a lot of glam and like flowy dresses and things, and I've always been more of a tomboy. But with that, and it's kind of funny this camera angle, because the whole thing was my profile. In what I was speaking to was that as a kid, I was teased a lot about having a witch face.
Okay.
Like, I'm pointy, it's fine, I'm comfortable with it now, but for years, I mean, I'm talking like until literally probably months ago, could not stand to see my profile.
We're talking like 2008, 19.
18.
Yeah. Wow.
Almost
we're talking,
there, buddy. But
yeah, right. We're talking 2018.
Yeah.
You just had an epiphany about this?
No, I mean, it was a lot through my training.
To another level.
It was a lot through what Warrior does is they make you really like.
So for years, So for years, you're a hairdresser. You're working with people. The concept of beauty is like it's what we do.
Yeah.
Enhancing what's inside.
Yeah.
And were you struggling with this concept?
No, I mean, not all the time. It's like a thing that I would just always be like, ugh, I just hate my profile. Like if any picture was taken of me like this, I'd be like, ugh, I hate it. Or I felt like I had like a really long face, and like I said, I think in that video, I think people become stylists because at some point, like, they felt like they were ugly, they just like psychologists become therapists because they have something fucked up in their head and they want to help it. You're like,
yeah.
They're crazy.
So you're saying you feel like that you went into beauty because you felt like you were lacking in some?
It was for the art, but also like I think I stuck with it because I value creating beauty for other people. Like having someone feel beautiful is super valuable to me, because for me to feel beautiful is extremely valuable to me because I grew up feeling ugly. So, I mean, I've definitely glowed up. But I'm cool with it now. But it's funny because I'm now like posting more pictures of my profile, where before I would delete those photos. Completely delete them. Like it was always that trigger in school where people were like, you look like a witch, you don't have to dress up like for Halloween. And I've never been a witch for Halloween, except for Sarah, Glenda, and Elizabeth. We're doing
That's super cold-blooded though.
Yeah,
I don't really. I know
kids are assholes.
I know you were saying you weren't bullied, but like you don't consider that some kind of like bullying?
Yeah, I mean to an extent.
I mean, that's not cool.
No, it's not cool.
Like, I mean, I suppose the way I would look at bullying is something if my child was doing it, I would be like, don't do that.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, if my kid was doing that.
So did you ever like talk to anybody about that, like as a kid, or did you just absorb it?
I think I absorbed it.
Wow. So you said this year you had a moment. Okay, so
a series of
about this issue from childhood with the profile.
Well, there's a lot of things that I've worked through, and that is really understanding. One, it's funny because like the thing with my profile, so many people are like, you're so beautiful, like I love your profile, it's my favorite thing about you. And I'm like, and for some reason I never saw that. So why do we do that?
How does it make you feel when people say that to you?
I accept it now. I love it now.
Do you feel like that? So before, would you have had trouble accepting that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, like I did.
You
not
feel like right? You were like, you're just saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I can identify with there are things that when I take a picture, no, like I delete, right? And there's like, okay, what spot is it? There's like a spot of my hair that it's starting to like really get to me, but like it's always been like that, even when I was younger. And then, or like my chin. I always thought my chin, right? I
feel you there.
And I think I started growing the facial hair because I didn't like my chin.
Right.
But I really love who I've become with the facial hair, and I just kind of came out of that, right? Good. Thank you. And I do think you're gorgeous. I would have never thought that there was any issues with any of your look or appearance. But I can appreciate how like you'd feel like, oh, you're just saying that if people like try to, like, feels like they're overcompensating.
Yeah, I mean, like, self-hate is a huge, like, such a huge issue, and we hear it every day as stylists behind the chair.
Somebody probably
professionals.
A lot of you watching this now probably don't like yourself, and I'm not like trying to be funny. Like, we all go through that. We wake up, we look in the mirror, and we see the thing that bothers us the most right in the beginning of the day. And you have to learn to really love yourself.
Yeah. Like,
really, no matter what. Because it doesn't, what if you woke up every day and somebody told you you're worthless? Like, how would you deal with that? Like, in social media, it does that.
It does.
Like, people, when you wake up every day in social media, the message is telling you is you're not good enough. You're not rich enough. You're not pretty enough.
I actually think there's a louder voice, and that's yourself. Like, for years, I was not a very good friend to me. So I was always the one. It was my voice. Social media, I haven't experienced that. I mean, maybe I will, but and if I do, I'm equipped for it.
Yeah, right. We are. I'm just saying the message can be shitty. Yeah, the message can be if you don't put positivity out there.
Right.
Okay, so you're saying self-hate. You use that phrase?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Sure.
Right? So, did you have self-hate?
Yeah, absolutely. Self-doubt, self-hate,
Okay, so if somebody's watching this,
keeping myself small was something I had done all the way up until probably June, I think, and then I still worked through it like of this year.
So if somebody's watching this, I help them, and they're not sure what self-hate is. Like, tell them what your definition is for self-hate.
I think it started with me, my self-worth was tied into what I could do for other people. Not what I wasn't ever my first friend or my first advocate. It was always like, what can I do for you? And I depleted my energy for others. So if you're not like feeding yourself first and nurturing yourself first, then like there's nothing left to give to anybody else. So you deplete yourself in that way. And then if you're constantly thinking like, I'm not doing enough, I'm not enough for this person, I'm not enough for that person, you just get into this like web of I'm not enough, I'm not doing enough, I don't look good enough, or I'm not enough for whoever it is, or myself, or I'm not pretty enough. Like comparison's the thief of joy.
Yeah, so feeling that you lack in areas in relation to others, that would be, so feeling like when you're around a certain person or somebody you're trying to make happy, feeling like it's not good enough inside is self-hate.
Or I'm not performing enough. I mean, as artists, and if you're an artist, you are your worst critic, absolutely. So, I constantly critique my work now, I still critique my work, but it's not in a hateful way like it used to be. Yeah, I used to not post at all because I was like, this is crap, I'm not posting this. Well, now, I implore you to post the crap, like post it.
You're being implored, man.
Yes.
How many times are you going to be implored, baby?
Yes, because
I love that word, it's a big word.
Yeah, when I, like
sounds
now,
like Game of Thrones
I can look at stuff and pick it apart and be like, you know what, I could have done that better. And now it makes my work better.
I'm so much better now about that too.
Yeah.
I used even now there's certain things I don't post because I just don't feel good about it. But it's because I'm trying to like put my best foot forward.
Yeah.
But sometimes if I agonize over a picture, I make myself post it.
Yeah.
Because I realize I am doing this to myself.
Yeah.
Have you ever posted something and you get tremendous feedback and you're like, I didn't even like that picture?
Well,
right?
Yeah.
I've done that. I'm like, fuck, I gotta stop.
Even like a blog post that I make or some video that I think is a complete failure, like I just really exposed myself, like that's like I probably shouldn't have done that, like people are gonna hate it, but then it gets like all this
good feedback.
Because that's why I'm here right now. I was like, oh man, I just said all of that. So it's kind of funny what comes to you or what people see that you don't expect to be good work, other people see as beautiful. Just like in myself, like I didn't find my profile beautiful, but so many other people did. So it's all conceptual. Like
it really is, yeah. And it's really like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's super cliche, but it's really like it's really,
so true.
It really is true because but it's like, how are people conditioned to find beauty, right? So I think our message is to help people be conditioned to like, what is real beauty versus like manufactured beauty.
Yeah, I
That's
think
really important.
We're in a great age right now where natural beauty.
It's tremendous. It's
yeah,
a tremendous time
so,
to be in the beauty industry. It's
I love
time.
it. I love it.
It's a tremendous time because also not only the technology and the way you can, you know, do hair or do, you know, skin or, you know, brows and lashes, all these, you know, extensions. There's so many really great things, but it's very accepted.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be a time where you did these extra things and you were extra. You know, you were that person. You know, if you enhanced yourself too much, you weren't really respected because some people felt there was a barrier to that. It was like, oh, enhancement, either you're ego-driven or you're spending too much money and all these things. And it's not really a class thing anymore. It's really just like, are you good with it yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's in the beholder.
I think that...
the eye of the beholder.
The eye, yes, you said that right. You're good. I think that we're in an age where people are really demanding to be real and raw, and they want the truth. And as stylists, I think we're secret holders. Like, we hear it. We hear it all. So I know the truth, and I don't tell other people's stories, but we hear everything.
No,
I don't tell other people's stories.
We actually,
I tell my own. But
you can't, and if I start to hear something I want to hear, I talk about me. The confidentiality is incredible.
But yeah, I think
that's a great thing.
I think people just want to just be them, and that's where we're at right now. And I mean, I've been a stylist for 18 years. I'll say it out loud. It's been a while, and we are finally in an age where it like shut up. But where people like really just, it's okay to stand out. It's okay to be subdued. It's okay to be natural. It's
7-8 years, the change has been tremendous, especially with social.
Yeah.
I think you are a very classy hairdresser. I want you to know.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. I think that you have a very classy style, and your branding is very chic.
Thank you.
And it's, but it has like I feel classy when I look at it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and another one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you is your ability to brand yourself. And let's talk about that. And talk about it. Like, you do a lot of things to brand yourself, and I appreciate that. And you're very unique, and I don't think everybody quite understands what you're trying to do with your social or with your brand, right? Do you feel that sometimes?
I mean,
people are not quite connecting the dots, but they love you.
Yeah.
They love what you're doing, but they're trying to, you know, that's how I feel. I'm super unique.
I know you're like,
I do all these things. Yeah, what are they doing, right?
Kind of all over the place.
I know, right. So talk about that. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think my Instagram is a lot more straightforward. I mean, you go to my Instagram, there it is. There's my profile picture. This is what I do, and here's my work. It's pretty. It's concise.
I do think a lot of
my Facebook is confusing.
Yeah, well, all the collusion, too much collusion.
Yeah.
I hate Facebook, but I like yours.
I think Facebook is going somewhere.
Yeah,
it's changing.
I mean, you may have seen this on Facebook because I'm posting the video. It's a YouTube video, but I'm posting the link because we want people to reach it, and you'll be sharing it. But what I was going to say is I want people to emulate what you do. I like what you do.
Right.
And I want people to see you as an example because so many students are coming out of school. And I do have students that watch this. We're going to go to Paul Mitchell tomorrow night and talk to students, right? And talk to them about these things. Like, I would love actually, like, in the future to bring this to a school.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, that's something that I should do, and then do the podcast at it and like have this conversation because students have no clue, like the evolution they're going to go through when they come out. It doesn't matter what age they are, what level. I mean, there are some people that they've been doing hair for, you know, since they were a little baby. They still don't know anything when it comes to being a business person.
Oh, that's...
So talk about your branding and how you came up with your classic style. Talk about that.
So, well, thank you. I'm like, oh. I made it.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny about branding is I feel like I'm in a constant state of rebranding myself. I'm doing it right now. I've done it a million times.
That's a real, I'm glad you led with that. That's super powerful. You're always evolving your brand. Constantly. Every day.
Yes.
You have to evolve your brand.
There's never a, like, oh, when I get a logo, yeah. Drink up. When I get a logo, I'll make it. Or when I get a website,
every time you say something good, I'm gonna try to drink.
New drinking game.
Yeah. Every time you say something good, right? All right. So right. Okay. So say something. I'm just gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you talk. Say something good because I want another drink.
No. So it's a constant state of rebranding. I'm constantly rebranding myself and just finding ways to make it look good because social media is constantly changing. What people want to see is constantly changing. Videos are a thing now, and it took me, my first video, I had to drink a whole glass and breathe a lot. And I was like, okay,
it's pretty tough.
Put myself out there.
It's pretty tough. Even when we started this, we were alone in here doing this. We were like, oh, we're nervous. We're talking to an inanimate object right now. We literally are.
It's worse.
Think about that.
So actually,
there's nobody in here judging us. This is an inanimate object, but we're still feeling you watching it because we know you're going to.
I spoke for
I like that, so I'm gonna drink because I like what I just said.
I spoke for 60 seconds in a crowd of I think 200, and I was like, that's a whole nother game.
Hey, but you know what? People look at what I do at the schools.
Yeah.
And I get judged.
Really?
People judge me. And I have heard judgment, you judgers. I've heard people, but they just don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't understand. They think, well, you're going to a school and you're just talking. I'm like, yeah, I'm just talking, but you don't realize when you're on a stage and you're connecting with all these people with dreams.
Yeah.
And every day they're broke, they're grinding, they're working in a salon for free. They don't know if it's going to go anywhere. They got their boyfriend won't pick them up. They got their moms are telling them they can't do it. They've got all these obstacles, and then they come to school and they get somebody who did it on the stage saying, hey, you can make this happen. You don't realize how powerful that connection is. So I'm over people judging it and thinking it's not worth it. These students are worth it.
I'm a bit of a convention junkie. Yeah, that's good. Cheers. It's a good one.
I got all preachy right there. Okay, I'll stop. I just don't like judgy people. Okay, so back to your brand. Back to your brand.
But that's a good point. I want to spin off of that.
Can't do judgy people, man.
No, and that's the thing is you judge yourself and you're full of all this I'm not good enough. I can't do this because I'm not like this person.
I like that.
Let me just tell you, I was in a trailer as a child. I don't come from money. I'm not someone who you call my brand classy and I'm like,
it's super classy.
Thank you. But, it's not something I'd identified with. My family's really loud. They're loving AF. But they're loud.
I'm going to turn that out.
Yeah, so they're just not I don't have a Pinterest lifestyle. Not that that's real anyway, guys. But the thing is you hold yourself back because you're oh, I'm just not like her. Or maybe you're thinking you're not your audience isn't like you or like me, but thing is we were nobody too.
The only thing that's separate, if you see somebody and you're oh, I don't know, their life is so different. Yeah, that's in your mind, man.
It is.
It's totally in your mind, and if you're always doing things that self-defeat and sabotage yourself, you're always going to feel like you're not at people's level. That's just there's no point.
I'll share something that was really hard for me.
I'm so fired. I'm all fired up.
So one of the things is I've been doing hair for 18 years and I was doing the same thing for a really long time, and I came to the point before I discovered I wanted to do natural beaded rows, which isn't for everybody, but I was ready to quit. I wanted to quit. I was done. I did not want to do hair anymore. I was just so done grinding. And I love my job. Literally I'm made for nothing else. I didn't know what else I was going to do. So I ran across it. Anyway, so I decided I had to really hone in and be you know what? All I want to do is color. I just wanted to niche. And I was all I want to do is color. And all I really want to do is these extensions. I want to learn this method because it's going to challenge my brain. So I did that, but in that I had to break up with an entire clientele. And I raised my prices significantly. And I'm not saying to go out and do that because your technique
So you broke up with you recreated your book?
I am still building a clientele.
Wow.
Is it you? No.
Come back, baby, come back. She loves you.
Well, I mean, it's not even come back.
I think she raised her prices. So.
But I did. I did a significant price increase. I feel like my technique and my skills match that. So don't do that without, really upping your game.
Yeah, you gotta be worth it.
Also, like with branding and presenting myself a different way and putting myself out there with blog posts and videos and photos and like taking better photos and branding and all these different things that it takes to be a business person, paying attention to my numbers, all those things that go into, creating a business behind the chair. Actually, not just doing art.
Taking your business serious.
But taking it seriously. But what happened within that is I had a lot of clients that I had seen for 5, 10, 8, 15 years and up that were just, and things get passed through the grapevine. When people say things, they might not say it to you directly, but you hear it. A little bird comes and they chirp. And so there were some things said that were hurtful, like, well, if it wasn't for us, she wouldn't have made it this far in her career. Or, she just like left us behind. And, it was really hard. I get deeply connected to my clients, and that's one of the things that I'm working on, is actually trying not to be so deeply connected. Like, they became like family, and that happens in the chair, and then you get afraid to raise your prices, and you get afraid to upsell, or you get afraid to recommend because you're like, oh, like, I know their family life, and I know this, and I know that, and you get so into it that you hold yourself back because you just know, and that's not it. Like, I had to kind of separate myself a little bit and see myself more as a serious business person and not this stylist who just like really deeply connected with my clients. A therapist doesn't do that. Like, yes, they get connected, but there is a line there. And so I had to draw that line. And with that, I had a lot of backlash. Like a lot of things were said, even by friends even. I told friends that I wasn't doing their hair anymore. I wasn't doing discounts. I wasn't
friends, baby.
No friends and family discount. Like, I wasn't, and so there was things that were said. So sometimes when you make business decisions, it's not only your own voice you have to shut up. You have to put up blinders of other voices too, and just not even don't give them focus.
Yeah, so you broke up with your clients, and this feedback came from that group or that time?
Just a few. It's come back to me a little bit.
Got it. So
not everyone. So let me just say, sometimes the negativity has a louder voice. Like, assholes tend to be louder. But I have a way better group of supporters.
One negative person that really is not on your team can really cause a lot of grief.
It does.
It really does.
It does.
It can really affect you, especially when you...
It's crazy, though, because it's the number is so small compared to the people who love and support you and are cheering you on. It's crazy.
We all take criticism so personally. I don't know anybody who really doesn't.
Especially artists.
We can say that we don't, but you really, you may not act like it does, but we always take it personal, especially if it's people that we had in the chair, people, or friends or family, Sometimes they think they're doing us a favor by telling us the truth. Well, that's a whole other podcast. People's truth is not always true.
Yeah, and people do give you advice and have opinions based on maybe their own fears and their own self-doubt. And so they say it out of love, but it doesn't come across that way. It comes out as judgment, but they're doing it because in their minds they'd be like, oh my God, I hope she doesn't fail or whatever, or I hope she doesn't get hurt or whatever, because I experienced it's their own fears they're projecting on you. And you know what? The thing that I've done in the last 6 months is I have gone head on into every single fear I've had.
Yeah, I think you are on a mission.
And still going through them.
I like that.
My words would be completely fuck shit up. Go and fuck it up.
Do it. Yeah.
Because in pain comes a lot more power.
Fuck it up, baby.
Go fuck it up.
Fuck it up.
Fail forward.
So you quit and came back?
Mm-mm.
Or you didn't?
I didn't quit and come back. I moved across town, and
so you just restructured everything.
I raised my prices.
What made you do that? Did you?
I changed my terms of service.
What made you come to that? Gotta change.
I was ready to quit. I wanted to quit doing hair.
You were just like, this is
done. I was drained.
Hitting the goals I want to hit.
I was just drained. I wasn't doing the hair I wanted to do. I loved my clients. Love deeply. my clients like family, and it was really hard to make that decision, but I had to like literally like meditate so hard on it and be like, take away all the emotions, what do you want to do? And I found I really love doing color, like so much. All I want to do all day is hair color. That's my thing. I like the science, I like the technique, I love it. I like tones, I'm a color science geek, so I really love doing color. And I really love doing these extensions because I have like, I can make Pinterest hair. I can do color that I have a huge, my canvas went from like this big to like this big.
Right, yeah.
So
you have a lot of great work.
I have a huge color canvas.
Your work looks so consistent too. Like,
thank you.
Like visually it's really powerful. Like the consistency, and then like the hair's all long and cool, you know, and like, you know.
Thank you.
I really love it.
It's rocking. I like it.
I looked at your tutorial today on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
I really liked it. How long did it take you to put that together?
I just click a button and.
Because I see a lot of tutorials, like people do their tutorials like this and they write it out, right? Step by step.
I don't write anything out.
Well, what I mean is like they type it out, like they actually do. They take the picture, they type it in, and then they you know, the message. Yeah. So how long does it take you to do a tutorial like that?
I just turn on the camera and start talking. Are you talking about the one with me and Caitlin?
No, I'm talking about not the video, but the actual, you were doing an Instagram story.
Oh, that took me forever.
Yeah. that's what
forever.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, that's a lot of work. You guys are killing it. I don't do it like it feels exhausting.
It took me an hour or so, but I did it. I created it not as a story. I was creating it as a highlight on my page. So it's a permanent thing that's on there. So I was willing to put in the time for it.
Got it.
What took me so long was that I had like I cleaned out my iPhone and was like getting rid of photos, so I had to like dig through my Google Photos and my iCloud to find all these old photos, and then I didn't have like, I was getting really meticulous about things as I do, and I had like a blonde and a brunette, so I'm like, oh, this picture needs to be black and white. Where's a good picture of my beads, and where's a good picture of the track, and where's a really good picture of this? And so it was more about my own like being a perfectionist in it, but you know,
so
I just was like, this is good enough.
Took you about an hour.
It took me like 2 hours.
It's good. I mean, I get it. It does take time.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on like social doing something and you're like, oh damn, like 2 hours later you did all this stuff, like the time flew by?
Yeah.
Are you like that kind of person?
When I write a blog,
then that's how you
I typically do. I reread it like, oh, is this message really saying what I want to say it? Because on my blog posts I go a little bit more emotional, and it's typically away from hair. Because since I'm a part of Warrior, there's a little bit more like self-empowerment stuff.
Your blog posts are not really hair.
Some of them are hair related. I've tried to be a little bit more hair related lately, but and also tying into like human emotion. But when I write a blog post, like I get really like caught up in my grammar. I'm my own.
You mean you just want it to read well?
Yeah, I want to read well.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So,
I'm the same way.
I take a lot of time in editing it, and I could just like send it out there and like let it be, but
everybody's different.
Oops.
I mean, so how much time does it take you to do one of your blog posts? Go to her Facebook page and read them. I'm gonna check the camera. Go ahead.
Yeah, it depends.
What's your answer on that?
It depends. Like sometimes I can do it in 5 minutes, and sometimes it takes me a good half hour.
We're at 38 minutes.
Oh, are we?
Yeah,
wow.
not bad. That's pretty good.
Bad. Yeah, it can take me up to a half an hour.
I have a few more questions.
But you know, the thing is like this is going permanently in the universe, and I used to like be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't put this out here. This is really like raw and vulnerable, and like I don't know what people will think about me. I don't give a shit anyway. By the way, I don't care.
There's
not
two
anymore.
people sitting here. We don't care what you think.
But what I thought,
if you think your criticism changes me or her,
I'm not gonna stop doing anything.
You got another thing coming. Because I'm done.
Definitely, yeah.
I want you all to know it doesn't matter what you think.
I hope
we're having fun. You know, I had somebody ask me.
I hope they think that too, though. Don't who cares what anyone thinks? Because this is what I thought. Was, you know,
Stop. You got to be like that, man. You cannot care what people think.
Yeah, when I was afraid to put something out there online and like expose myself a little bit, I'd be like, oh my God, like what are people gonna think? But what I did was I flipped that, and I'm now doing like, if this just speaks to one person, one person. If one person sees this and needs to hear this today, then I've done my job.
So why are you motivated to do that? Why do you care enough to put your personal life in your postings to try to reach one person?
Because
what's motivating you to do that? You're a hairdresser. Why do you care?
Because
why do you care about other people?
Because I'm a hairdresser.
This is what I get.
It's ingrained in us.
This is what I get. People say, Jason, why do you go and talk to people? Why do you do the other? Why are you doing more than hair? Because I get that.
I think all
and I'm like, you should all do more than hair. Yeah. If you're not doing more than hair, then you're cheating the world of the other things you can do.
Well,
we're more than just one thing, man.
Yeah, I was starting to feel a little bit like, I guess like, not unimportant, that's not the right word, but I was just feeling like my sole purpose wasn't being fulfilled. Like I had always thought, like even, I can think back to when I was like 16 and I got into this industry, I was like, you know what? I'm made for more than just hair, but I don't know what that looks like.
So you're like, okay, I feel something greater.
Yeah.
Hair's a great thing. Cosmetology's great. I feel something else in the universe form.
Yeah, as a vessel of like styling has been a vessel to help lift people up in my chair, but now I kind of like went to this went through these series of events that I think my life set me up for, like in hindsight, and I just like woke up one day and was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start, like, my voice, I used to not speak out because I was like, who are you? Like, who are you to, like, have a voice?
You had self, like,
I totally
were people telling you don't talk, or was it just you?
No, that was me. That was me, and I had so many other people who were like, you're really good at what you do, like, I love being around you, you're really uplifting, all these things. That's how I named my brand, Lifted Salon. Lifted Salon. Get lifted.
Get lifted, baby. Get lifted.
Cheers to that. Oh, I'm out.
I'm not.
But, no, so
this is fun. You should watch more of these. I love this. This is good.
This is a good one.
We're having a good time.
Yeah, so I'm
learning a lot.
Good. I'm glad. I hope other people are too, if they're still watching.
Or, you better.
I know.
You better.
But,
this will help you.
Yeah, I just got to this point where I was like, you know what? Like, I've been in this industry for 18 years. I do have a valid, like, experience that I can share with other artists. I can share with other, even if they're not stylists, other people who are just trying to, like, do their art in whatever way and put themselves out there. We, like, as any artist or anyone who's trying to aspire to be anything, and, you know, especially with stylists, like, as a whole, we make, I think as a national average, it's like, on average, I think less than poverty level we make. Like, it's not a lot.
Yeah, money.
And for me to sit here and be like, you know what, this girl from the trailer park, like, I'm gonna make over $100,000 a year. Like, I will make over 150 someday. Like, I don't care. I'll say it out there on camera. I'll do it.
And if you just heard her say that, and you had something that came in your head that doubted you could do it, you gotta stop.
Yeah.
You gotta stop the self-doubt. When somebody says something amazing, don't turn it off in your head that you can't do it.
Yeah.
You need to take that and put it in you.
Yeah,
take what they said and let that manifest.
Yeah, and it's gonna
You used that word earlier.
Yes, yeah.
Manifest sounds like super, like Star Trek.
It does. It
manifest that, Scotty. Manifest that.
I think what it takes is like a lot of perseverance. That's one of my favorite words too.
Perseverance, baby.
Perseverance, and it does take patience. And like whenever you find yourself like falling backwards, like just go back forward. Like I very recently like went backwards. Like I've battled with anxiety and depression, and as artists we tend to feel a lot more passionately. And when you see us as customers or as are at work or as clients, like you see us like more uplifted and like, hey, but then we'll go home and we'll be like, oh my God, like I'm so depleted.
What's your biggest battle though?
My thing is like I have really bad anxiety, or I did. I don't so much anymore. I do a lot of practices that help.
What helped you battle your anxiety?
I do meditation, exercise. I make sure I'm spending time with my family. There's something in Warrior called the Core 4 where we practice body, being, balance, and business. And it's just kind of like balancing it all and making sure that, because mom guilt is really real work guilt, dad guilt. Like, you know, guilt of like, I'm not here enough. I'm not showing up here enough. Well, like sometimes like my business will take over. Like today, my kids got home. My 11-year-old made dinner for herself before her volleyball game because I was sitting there trying to rebrand my damn Instagram and it was taking forever. And I'm in this hustle phase because I'm rebranding again.
Right.
And so I am working harder.
What tells you not to take out the subject, but why do you feel the need to rebrand? Or when do you know that's...
You know what? I don't want to say rebrand.
When do you know it's time to
leveling up my brand.
Okay, so when do you feel like it's time to do that? Like every 3 months, every 4 months?
There's no timeline. I just get sick of it.
Okay, so you wake up and you're like, I gotta take it to
where could this be better? And I just analyze it. I'm like, what could be better? And I look... Like today, for instance, I went on and I was looking at all these, like, I went outside our industry and I looked at fashion brands, some lifestyle bloggers, photographers are great.
I noticed you have a nice camera. You had it here.
I do.
So you invested in a nice
camera. I did invest in a nice camera.
I'm about to.
That's my new thing.
Every hair person needs to do that. So your pictures look really good.
Yeah, pictures are a big deal. That's your portfolio. That's everything. And I don't edit too much. I don't do a ton of editing. I just mainly try to edit my photos to what my eyeball sees because the camera doesn't always.
You have a place in your studio where
I just have a blank wall like that.
You can just take the pictures on.
Yeah, and then I have I just bought this little.
I totally forgot to turn the light on. Can you believe that? I totally forgot.
But
woo! Let's see if it makes a difference. Oh my God, we did without the light. It makes a little bit of a difference.
That's good.
It's on me.
Yeah, I think I just like. In fact, like I got my logo made a while ago, and it's really only on my Facebook business page, which those are a whole nother animal. I hate those things, but you have to like.
I hate your Facebook.
Yeah, I hate the business pages.
I need my page, but I don't like it. Like I'm going to talk about how to use Facebook groups and Facebook pages tomorrow when I go to Bob Mitchell. But man, it's like use at your own discretion because they can like make you happy.
You have to know how to use it.
Then they can make you so sad because you just
there
don't
are
know what you're
tools,
doing.
and I think Facebook business pages don't work.
There are tools like Facebook's a bunch of tools, or you mean like it's a tool? Because there are a bunch of,
I guess both.
Facebook a bunch of tools, man.
With Facebook business pages, you have to pay in order to boost your post for anyone to see it, or you share it on your personal page.
And then they distribute it to all these people that don't even matter. That live in your area. It's
a
waste of money.
Yeah, I have a public personal page.
Which is what I use, which is super effective. We have thousands of people. It's just better.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were talking about mom guilt, dad guilt, not doing work enough for the family, work guilt. So let's go back to that. Let's talk about how you did you deal with that a lot?
Yeah. So like,
how did you battle it? How did you?
So I lost myself in the pursuit of being something for others. So I lost myself and I came out of balance there. So I had to reel myself back in and kind of put up my blinders and be like, okay, like I kind of, and again, like my husband, like came up with like a very serious health issue, and that really will put some shit into perspective.
Yeah,
when you are faced with like a serious life-threatening thing, you're like, oh my God, like I kind of, you can prioritize a lot easier. And so all of a sudden, like the only thing that matters is the people under my roof. Really, when it comes down to it, it's my kids, my husband. So I kind of had to like.
Kids are the priority.
Absolutely.
I mean, your husband, of course.
Yeah.
Sorry, hubby. I wasn't. It's kids and hubby equal. I'm divorced, so I always think about my kids first.
I'm like, I guess I could call myself like I'm a workaholic.
Okay.
A total workaholic.
I can
love
see that.
To work.
But I am too. But do you think it's a bad thing?
When you sacrifice your family for it, it can definitely cause a lot of problems. And when you sacrifice yourself for it, it can cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And so right now, I'm like a recovering workaholic. And I still, like, my husband will probably be rolling his eyes right now, like, she works her ass off, like, shut up. Like, she's still, in there, like, posting media, whatever.
Well, but
try.
And I think you're probably the same way. Like, everything I do reaps a reward.
Yeah.
Everything I do has a return on it. I'm at a point, but it wasn't always like that. But I am at a point that everything I do, even this, there is a return, and I have calculated it. So when you're always working to bring a better life in and bring financial gain in for the family. Is that okay in your mind, or is that still bad because you're a workaholic?
So,
now, I don't have a family at home like you would, so it's a different perspective.
Right.
I don't have a relationship. I'm single. It's essentially Jason, and he comes, "Hi, honey, I'm home," and it's me. And it's like I do what I want to do. I can work, and I guess I don't consider it being a workaholic if I'm on the Chromebook booking appointments while I'm doing other things.
Right.
So I guess it's two different worlds. But.
So for me, right now I'm working on getting up. Like the way you get more time in a day is, for me, I'm working on getting up at 5 a.m. The kids get up at 7.
Oh, you lost me.
But for me,
oh girl,
okay, so
it's a wrap. Turn this off right now. It's a wrap.
So for me,
get thee behind me.
I get up at 7. I get my kids ready. I get me ready. We're stylists.
Okay,
we have to be.
You got responsibility.
Yeah, I have to take my kids to school.
I'm not even qualified to talk about this.
I am. So
I gotta.
So I have to get my kids up ready. I have to get them ready for school, and then we get home after work, and there's dinner. There's volleyball. My kids, actually, the schools aren't really into homework as much anymore, so that's cool. But you have family time.
Yeah, have you noticed that homework has
and
decreased?
Yes.
It's same thing for my daughter.
Like my kids go to Montessori school, so
they're my daughter's knocking her homework out, and I'm like,
what do you feel like?
She's like, knocking that out. I'm like, you're done? I'm done. I'm like, wait a second.
It's not a lot.
And
we have
the grades
spelling.
are good. I'm like,
my kids fine.
Are you just getting smarter?
My kids are good.
What's a Montessori school?
Montessori is kinesthetic learning.
Oh, I thought it was
the classroom's more around the student than it was. Like basically, a stylist should have all had Montessori school. But
so it's more of a creative learning environment.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was like a religious thing? Okay, it's just like the Montessori sounds all like
serious. That's another subject, but it's really cool. Actually,
sounds very serious. Okay.
It is. I could have used it a lot, but yeah. So now I'm finding myself. I get up at like 5 a.m. or I don't all the time. I'm working up to it. I'm at 5:30, 6 a.m. right now. I get up. I do my meditation. That helps me. Oh, I do coffee first. Coffee first, then meditation.
I do the coffee after, but
a little bit of a workout, and then I try to do some business.
Working something out's important, especially behind a chair.
Yeah,
it's a physical game.
Yeah, I stretch. I do yoga. I do running. I
Super
do
important.
Some plyometric stuff. I'm working on it. It's actually, I'm not perfect at working out. That's actually one of my weaknesses. Is I've made a new promise to myself to do something every day. Trying to strive for like a schedule, and so I'm trying to carve out time before the kids wake up to do that. Now, right now, I'm rebuilding a clientele. I'm rebranding my business. I'm trying to make a new website for myself. There's a lot aside from working behind the chair that I have to do. So right now, I am working.
You do it all yourself.
Once I get that done, I'll create more space for myself.
Okay. So you're working towards a goal. So
yeah,
it kind of ebbs and flows.
Yeah,
sometimes
it's gonna go up
a little
and
more than
down. But yeah, so like I just try to make sure I have like dates with my kids. I write them little love notes, like just to make sure that I don't like that they're feeling fulfilled and connected with. So I, am not being an asshole ignoring them.
Yeah, I actually
because I'm working.
Yeah, one of my things for family is I always one thing a day.
Yeah.
Like I always make sure I'm doing a major, like some sort of taking care of something.
Right.
Or reaching out, or something that's connected to my daughter, my son. He's older; it's a little different, but or family. I like certain goals every day to reach, do something. So it's it's what you're doing.
Yeah, for stylists that are building, this might not be possible, but for me, I came to a point where I don't work Saturdays anymore. I do not work weekends.
That's a great thing. That's a good thing.
Don't work weekends.
Well, especially
and
with children.
Don't work any more late nights either.
Yeah, I'm changing my schedule too.
Because
I don't have to.
It's hard.
I do what I can. I'm at a point where I can do what I want to do.
Yep.
And if people think that's, some people don't look at that as a successful thing. That's a successful thing.
Yeah, people take that.
You can work harder than me. It's cool. I'm happy.
Success isn't always measured by money. Sometimes it's
But I've been working for years, man. People don't even understand the hours that we put in for years and years and years to get to a point to where we can say no to Saturday.
You know what? I find a lot of stylists brag like, I worked a 12-hour day, and whenever I hear that, I worked a 12-hour day, I made this X amount of money, and I'm like, I feel bad for you.
I feel like dying when I do that.
I hate it when I work a 12-hour day.
Lot of work.
I never want to work 12-hour days. No more than 8. My average is 7 right now.
I like to work too.
But like,
you know, yeah. I mean, if the demand is there, again, our routines are different as a family. But if I had my daughter with me full time, you're right. Saturdays would not happen.
No.
Like I only work 2 Saturdays a month, maybe.
Yeah. I book weddings.
And I'm trying to do some. I'm trying to. Yeah.
They're quick. I'm done by 1.
I quit weddings.
I love them.
You're 2 mean girls. I just can't.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. The wedding thing I can't. But maybe it's
I'll
just.
I'll take your bride.
I'll
take all your brides.
So take your girl.
Actually, not all of them.
Yeah, see?
I've come to a point where I typically try to work with wedding planners. The reason is...
Oh, yeah, I saw that this weekend.
Yes, the reason is...
Those pictures were so good.
Thank you. She's so pretty. I can't wait to see the photographer's photo. She's
really
sweet.
Was really good.
But she, that girl, like, I didn't work with a wedding planner that day, but typically when I book large wedding parties, I only work with planners because... otherwise it's like herding chickens. But when I
know, I just can't. When
I book weddings, I make a schedule. I do a lot of administrative work where I make sure like bridesmaid A, B, C, D is with so and so. I hire makeup artists. I hire.
Yeah, you thrive on that. I don't.
Yeah, I hire different people. I don't do the whole thing myself, but I make a production of it where we're more like a well-oiled machine. So I'm booking stylists and booking people so they know where to be when.
And that's why I don't do it, because that's not my strength. And I realized, okay, I can't give people what they need because I'm just not willing to put the work in. It's just not automatic for me. I can't.
Mine either. It was just more of a demand for me. Like I demanded to work in a specific type of environment. If I wanted to have fun, I quit weddings for a long time, but if I wanted to enjoy doing weddings, I had to create the environment. We do it behind the chair. I just do it on location now. So I create the stage. I create the environment. And by doing that, I'm booking appointments like we do behind the chair. I book a stylist too when it's a large wedding party. But even if it's just me, I book certain people at certain times and I set the stage and I set the environment, because in weddings, like we're in charge of like keeping everybody calm and like building them up to showtime. And
can't do it.
Even if you're a stage worker though, like if you do hair on stage, you're building them up to showtime.
Well, that's true. So, you
weddings aren't everybody.
Some people are so good at it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't do it as much because I don't.
I'm allergic to marriage.
Well, I only work like 1 or 2 weddings a month because again, that takes me away from my kids.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. So okay, so let's. Are you having fun?
I am.
Okay, good. I'm
gonna like spin this chair and get some.
Yeah, get a little refill. All right, you got your refill. Let me see how we're doing on time. We're doing pretty good. We're right at 57 minutes.
Oh, okay. What's the goal here?
As long as we want.
Okay.
You okay for a few more questions?
Yeah, you can timestamp things, and maybe people will like.
We'll be chopping up the segments.
Perfect.
And then obviously the whole thing will be great. This has actually been a lot of fun. My last one I think was like 90. Was it 90 minutes? It was a long one, but I've done 2 hours and I thought they were successful. I've done 10 minutes. It really just is about the issue.
My videos are typically like I try to keep it like 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, but that's good for
real short.
It's good for Instagram. I'm actually starting to do Instagram Live now.
Yeah, I do
every day, because it's what people are doing, and I need to do and people need to build that rapport with you. We're gonna do a quick live before you leave for a few minutes.
Sure.
Just so
we can like tandem live it.
Yeah, we'll do to advertise what we're doing, so people can watch it. I'm gonna try to get this up by the morning. I think I can. Actually, I'm excited. I think because I keep the edit pretty simple. Okay. And I just throw the graphic on. And I like to not take anything out unless it needs to be taken out. But I think we're good. So you like to motivate people or hair people or everybody? Because everybody can read your posts.
Everybody.
And they're really deep. Like,
people.
Why do you get so deep?
Because
it's not a bad thing. It's like because I'm the same way.
Because I am, like, I feel the feels, and I think some people might find that weird. I don't care if you find that weird.
We don't care.
But if it helps, like, then great. Like, if I'm there for the weirdos.
Well, you talked about your profile self-awareness.
Yeah.
You know, you had that post. That seemed to be like getting a lot of because I was tagged on it, so I was seeing the reactions to it. Were you surprised by the reaction from that? Are there certain things that you do that reach people more than others?
I have no idea what's going to reach people and what's not.
So how do you decide?
Whatever I'm feeling like that day. It really is. It actually, like, it's, you know, call it divine. I don't, like, my soul. I just, whatever I'm feeling that day.
On IG videos, you really get personal. I was and they draw me in.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they're more personal than other people put. More than what I would put to a certain point.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't do that. I've done it in the past on Facebook videos, but it's so funny because, like, I think I'm a little gun shy because in the past I would get judged. Like, I'd put something in a Facebook video. Well, yeah, but I mean,
I do. Yeah,
I'm over it now. Like, because I just do it. Doesn't matter because I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
This is for me, man.
But
you don't have to watch it.
Here's the deal.
Some people want to watch it. It's cool, you know.
Sometimes, like, we see, like, feeds and videos and things where, like, people share personal things.
Why do you do it? Why do you feel
I do it to help others. Like, it's something that someone needs to hear, like,
so it's
to relate to. And some people do it in a way that's like, woe is me, I'm a victim. Like, I am not a victim.
Yeah, that's not
something.
Yours is empowering.
But so I do it.
It motivates me.
Yeah, that is why I do it.
Your stuff does motivate me.
Thank you. Good. I'm glad. If it does one person, I'm good.
That's why we're doing this.
Good.
I think people should follow you on Instagram and watch your videos because you have the power to really motivate and lift people up.
I mean, that's all lifted.
It's all lifted. Why is lifted an important phrase to you?
Funny story about that. Well, lifted beauty came from lifting people up, lifting hair. There's so many different ways you can say, but it is truly to lift people up, lift their spirits, lift their vibe, lift their beauty. I mean, and it could be as surface level as lifting their hair color or lifting their hair volume.
Right.
Like, it's an all-encompassing name. Well, funny story about that. I had a friend who kind of named the salon, and I was taking her blonde, and it was definitely someone who, like, has gone from, like, blonde to black, or black to red. I mean, God, she made me do all these crazy things to her hair. It's stuff that I would never say yes to other people, but she was good with it. She knew the risk. But she was drinking wine because I have wine in my studio. I have cute little wine glasses that say "Get Lifted." But before all the branding, she said, she's like, "Man, I'm just feeling hella lifted." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's such a good name. Like, I'm coloring you blonde. Okay. You have volume in your hair. You're feeling good. You're feeling beautiful." And she had wine, so she was lifted. And that's where the name came from. And great. It just encompassed so many things that it's worked. And I just, like, and then other people go, like, you just lift people up. Like, I feel lifted when I'm around you. I'm like, God, this word just kept coming. And that's where it stayed.
The reason why I'm asking is, like, I have certain words that take me through the year. Mm-hmm. This year is the word is evolution. Like, that's my word. Yeah. That's why I call this podcast The Evolution, essentially. Yeah. Because I want people to, when I bring them on, I want to talk about why are they evolving? Like, what causes you to evolve? Because we're always evolving. Like, every moment, you're changing. Every moment, you're changing. Your biology is changing. Yeah, your spirit is changing. Everything's changing. The time is changing. So I want people to talk about, like, how are they evolving? You know. Yeah. So I want to ask you some quick questions. We'll wrap. Because this has been great. We'll do it again. You know, this is really, really good, and we'll do it again in the future and see where you're at and kind of things you're doing. I'd like to do this at a local school. This would be fun. I think we'd be real.
I've spoken at a couple of schools.
I would love to have 2 chairs and just do this. I think it'd be great in front of a live audience. That would be dope. Yeah. Okay, so
I like to watch little light bulbs go off.
Yeah.
And they're like,
no, I mean, can you imagine with, like, an actual live audience?
Yeah. No, our industry needs to be lifted.
Lifted, baby, and evolve. Okay, so
yes.
very quickly, a few rapid fire questions.
Mm-hmm.
What was your evolution moment for 2018?
It was, my biggest evolution moment was when my husband got diagnosed with a kidney disease, and I had to like reevaluate like everything, and I was like, shit.
And what was
and then after that, it was in June.
Okay, and so what was the result of that?
June, it was me like prioritizing my family life, my business life, and just being like, you know what, like this is not, like I don't want to slave behind the chair anymore. Like I want to make more time for my family, and I want more money, and I want more freedom, and I want to travel. So I'm creating that right now. Like I'm sure my husband.
You're building your world around the things you want.
Yes.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest personal challenge right now going forward into 2019? Not necessarily hair, but what's your personal challenge?
My own mind. My own mind is what probably keeps me. You're your own worst critic. You keep yourself. I mean, you limit yourself with self-doubt, things like that. I fight through it, and I'm part of like a great support group. I have amazing people around me, so I know how to fight through that stuff. Now I'm working through it, but yeah, it's myself, and there's outside noise, of course, and being able to put up the blinders and just not listen to it and just shut it out. And really be able to hone in on what I truly want for myself, and not listen to what other people want. And again, not limiting myself with self-doubt.
Wow, that's good. How do you define success?
It's not monetary.
Okay.
I mean, some of it is monetary, of course. Like, I mean, it is a lot easier to be, to have freedom with money. So for me, success is time to myself, time with my family, freedom.
Time with family.
Success is paying it forward to other stylists, other people who might need to, hear this or need a message to lift themselves up in our industry. Turning on light bulbs, I guess, waking people up, and I mean, there is a monetary value to that for sure, because
so for you, success is reaching people no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, I do.
Lifting them to another level.
Yeah,
having them walk that experience. Like we did a haircut before we did this. Like him walking out,
he looked good,
right? And
he looked good.
Thank you.
I don't do men's hair, and that was really good.
And, but the jokes that we're joking around, he's like, "So you do right?" That's being lifted.
Yeah.
That moment when you're leaving.
Yeah, he evolved from shitty hair to great hair.
Yeah, it was a little long. Who does your hair? That's the next question I like to ask.
Actually, a lot of people do my hair.
Okay, so you switch around.
I switch around. I go see other artists.
Okay.
I do.
Who's the last person that did your hair?
Her name is Lou, and she owns a salon called Lucy's in Old Roseville. She did it. Yeah, Lou is great. She's amazing. And yeah, I have like a lot of people I like to go and see, and of course like Caitlin, my sister-in-law who works with me, she does my hair like a lot.
Okay, so
she's super convenient, and when I need a color done, I actually colored my own hair last, so I guess technically I'm my last hairdresser.
A lot of the hairdressers do color them.
Yeah, I go explore other artists. I like to go to other salons. I do pay for my hair as a customer.
Sure. Me too. I do. I take care of.
Yeah, and I think emotionally.
Matt cuts my hair.
Well, honestly, like that's one thing is like we do a lot of trading.
Sometimes
we do a lot of trading, but I think like
or we model on each other depending on what's going on.
For sure, but I think a lot of people like trade estheticians. They trade massage therapists for work, and I would implore you to not to actually earn the money to do that.
I love that you said that.
It's a little different.
I used to get a lot of criticism because I would tell students, don't do a lot of trade work.
How could you know emotionally what it's like for your client to pay for your services if you're not actually reaching money out of your wallet to pay for your own? There's no way for you to emotionally connect
unless you're paying the same price that they're paying. That's really
the other thing is I try not to tell people I'm a hairdresser if they don't know.
Okay. All right.
But if they don't know it, then I don't say it. But,
why?
Well, with hairdressers, if I'm seeing other hairdressers, they already know I am.
I'm going there.
If I see other hairdressers, I know I am. But when you see other industry professionals, like estheticians or massage therapists, sometimes they tend to they just don't deliver as much of a service to you.
They feel like you're kind of in the business.
They're like, yeah, I can relax because you're in the industry and I can kind of be less. I'm like, no, I want Ritz-Carlton. I want good service. I get so pissed off if I'm not getting good service. I'm such a perfectionist. If other people aren't doing that, then
I make Matt give me the full shampoo, girl.
I want it. I want the shampoo. I want it. I want it all. I want the full treatment. So sometimes when you see other industry professionals, whether they're hairdressers or not.
My last one was great too. This is a great one. I want everybody to watch this.
Yeah, I think you should reach money out of your pocket and pay for your services just like anyone else. It's the same as a trade. You just earn the money. Even if you did a haircut for me and I paid you and then you turned around and paid
you back.
It's I don't care.
It's just that's the way it should work.
I mean, money is a trade system, so to speak.
It's technically a trade.
It is, but to actually have that emotional connection.
I'm getting lifted. This is good.
Good.
This is good. The last question is a really serious one.
Okay.
Talk to me about roller derby.
I
blew your hat off. That's how serious that was.
I don't have hats. I do.
It looks great. Now you can see the color.
Good.
Talk to me about roller derby really quick.
I played roller derby for about 3 years, and
you played. You call it playing?
I played.
Didn't you
Do
you fight and stuff?
You don't play.
I'm just
you definitely it's a physical sport. No kicking.
I don't know anything.
You will get put in the penalty box for that.
I can feel
no
that.
Punching, no kicking, but
all right, so it's
I sucked at roller derby for 3 years.
You sucked. No, you were on a team.
It's a cool sport.
So you played on a team.
Yeah.
All right, what team was there?
Floodwater roller derby.
They're
still around.
Sacramento
They're
team?
in Sacramento. They play at Foothill Skate Inn. They're great.
You sucked?
That is, you suck at roller derby for a long time. Oh, everybody sucks at roller derby for the first I think it takes 3 or 4 years to even be good at it. And I ended up leaving before.
Okay.
I miss it.
You still
so
skate though?
Much. I do skate.
Why do you not do it?
Because it's a nonprofit. It's a lot of time.
You got to commit to the practices.
You really do.
Yeah,
you don't dabble in roller derby. Right. You don't recreationally play it. I mean, some people do, but you have to train and cross train, and it's a physical
sport.
You will get hurt or you will be sore, and I miss it so much, but I can't commit the time because I've decided to commit the time into marketing my business.
Wow.
So. Sorry, Flood. I love you. Wow. I do love those girls. And you know what? They helped me in a time that I really needed it. Wow. When I really needed it, I turned to roller derby, and it helped me release so much. And I wasn't really great at hitting, but I was really, I got hit a lot. I got laid out.
You're a tough girl.
Man, I got laid out a lot. But it's a physical sport. You hit with your body and your hips.
Hair people have a sport they're good at.
Yeah.
I'm really good at basketball. People don't know that.
Really?
I played a lot of basketball for years, and I can shoot really well and do all these things really well. I'm good. But now it's just I play I don't really go to I used to play against the younger guys, and they would be like, "Oh, you're over 30. We're gonna destroy you." They would not hold back on me, and then I'd just kill myself.
Dominate.
Yeah, but now I kind of I go easy on it. But Max softball, she's great.
Yeah, she's a great softball player.
You're great. Yeah. 3 years is good at roller derby. That's probably.
I'm a good skater. I'm definitely.
Skater.
I'm a decent skater for sure. I have my fashion skates.
I think it's great for hair people to.
I like to trail
for beauty
skate.
people to have a physical sport they do.
Yeah, in Sacramento we have great trails here, along the river and.
Right.
Downtown urban skating, it's really great, and there's some definite groups that I wish I had time to join, Chicks and Bowls, and it's called Chicks and Bowls. It is, and no, you laugh, you look up, and you see these women.
It caught me by surprise.
Are doing acrobatics in skate parks.
That's Chicks and Bowls.
Go to B Street.
What's
crazy.
the bowl? Like this? The bowl is the
skate bowl.
Guy, I'm learning.
Did you never go to the skate park?
No.
You're not a skate park guy.
No, I wouldn't know.
I hung out with the skater boys.
I know, right? I'll respect the chicks in the bowls.
There is
chicks and bowls.
A lot more roller skates coming around. They are in. The quads are in. They're great. There's amazing acrobatics. I wish when I'm done hustling and grinding and building my brand and I can let go.
Yeah,
I'd like to get
working
back
on doing
into
some things that are not hair related, some new projects, and
you got to.
And it's my evolution.
Yeah,
because we're artists in different ways. That's artistic. Sports are artistic.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to put your energy out. You've got to get it out. That's an anxiety release.
I know we have tons of energy, all of us in this business.
Way too much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been really cool, man.
It's fun.
Yeah, thank you. So tell everybody where they can follow you again.
I'm on Facebook. Jaki, that's Jacki Spellman, as in Sabrina Spellman. LS, so Jaki Spellman LS on Facebook, and I am Jacki.liftedbeauty on Instagram, and you can find Lifted Beauty, I'm sure, around. I'm making a new website. So
are you on Twitter?
No, I'm not a Twitter person.
You should be on it.
I'm not a tweeter.
It's the
I don't know how to be Twitter-pated.
I'll show you how. Are you on Snapchat?
No, I use Instagram stories instead.
Do you have a YouTube page?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I should.
I can give you clips from this and you can use it.
Yeah. I have a YouTube page I save videos on.
Yeah, it would
pay for YouTube Red. That's cool.
Yeah, right.
But
that's actually I love
so I can listen.
Okay. So follow her on Instagram and
right now
Facebook only.
Facebook.
Okay.
You will find, and Lifted Beauty. Lifted Beauty is on Facebook.
Okay.
But that's it right now. I kind of try to keep it manageable. I think I'm on I'm on LinkedIn under my name, Jaki Spellman.
Are you on Tumblr?
No.
Okay.
Was that a trick question?
No, it's a real thing.
No,
I'll help.
Isn't that a dating site?
No, that's
What
Tinder.
What is that? Oh!
That's Grindr, baby. No, we didn't ask if you're on Grindr. Not on Grindr.
I'm not on dating sites. I'm married.
No. And Tinder. Tumblr is.
What's Tumblr?
Tumblr is it's like blogs and pictures. You'd like it. It's actually it's an Instagram, but you can do videos and pictures.
It's so much to keep up with.
It's a lot.
Tumblr's
not big.
Main.
I actually have my Tumblr linked to my Twitter and my Instagram.
Oh, so you just cross post?
Yeah, it helps. Yeah, so you can hit everything. And you can follow me everywhere on the internet at Jason J. Daniel. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, Jason J. Daniel Hair.
That's impressive.
And Jason J. Daniel. Thank you. And I don't do a lot of Snapchat because it's kind of out, guys, but I am on Snapchat. Everything is Jason J. Daniel. And please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Like this video, share this video, follow both of us, and the more you support what I'm doing here, you can see more videos and cool stuff like that. If you have somebody you'd like me to interview in the Sacramento or San Joaquin County or the Northern California area, let me know. And follow me on Jason J. Daniel on Facebook, and also Jason J. Daniel Hair, and Jason J. Daniel Hairstylist. I am on Pinterest as well. My daughter makes sure I was on
Pinterest.
Follow us on Pinterest as well. People tag me on.
Oh man.
So guys, we appreciate it. And
thank you.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the podcast. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Well, she's not going where you are. Peace. Peace. Did you have fun?